Recording started. What's up, E?
Coach Wink, what is going on? How we doing?
Oh, we're doing great, buddy. August is here, and we are preparing ourselves for the 2024-2025 season. So we thought it'd be a good opportunity to get on to our StreamYard software and basically talk about all the great things that are going on for LILJ in 24-25. And one of the big questions that you get, I get, we get DM'd, we get emailed, smoke signals, 100 different ways people trying to communicate with us, is they ask us how can they be seen so that they can get ranked by your staff, your I know you're out there everywhere, but where can they be seen? And that has been the big question. Where can my child be seen so that we can evaluate you as a lacrosse player and get you into our watch lists and then our rankings. In 2 weeks, we're about to get out to the world, the 2026 rankings, because that class is about to get recruited. We had the watch list put out last week. And I guess the question is, when they ask you where can you be seen, how do you answer that, Ellis?
Yeah, so I think the best way to answer that is that there's a multitude of ways to be seen by the LILJ. And it really goes throughout the fall, into the winter, into the following spring, and into the summer as well. So really, that's kind of the purpose of this podcast. I think it's more so just an educational piece, just to kind of inform people and have that question of where to be seen, have that question answered for everyone out there.
Yeah, so like we obviously do a bunch of events, and this particular will be on social so that people could see it. And we're going to go through each event and who it's for, what gender, what grades, blah, 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 so that everybody knows. These are some of the events. We're going to go to each event throughout the whole year. As you can see, there's a lot of things that we are at. You're at everything. And what we're not including in this, just so everybody knows, is all the high school games that we cover, which last year was well over 100 boys and girls games.
Yes.
Which is where we can only evaluate really the varsity kids, because you can't go to JV games. We physically can't. We're trying to get more people out there, but we have to stick with the varsity, which is generally your freshmen through seniors when it comes to grades. That's why we do these other things and go to these other events, which we can go through and talk about all these events, and we're going to talk about all these events. And I guess what we'll do is we'll start with the first event, which is coming up in October, which is a girls' youth event, and that's the Queen of the Island. And that's, as you can see, those are 8th graders down to 2nd graders.
Yeah, so Queen of the Island, that's really the first event that we have of the fall. So youth girls tournament, like you said, here locally on the island in the town of Huntington Parks. And of course, that's an event where, like you said, it goes all the way down to 35s this year, 29s through 35s. But Queen of the Island, it's for club teams on the island. So you always get a variety of club programs that are there across the different age groups. And we get story coverage on the LILJ Instagram in the LILJ Instagram page. So it's kind of like covering games like we do during the high school season. We do POGs for Queen of the Island. So that's a chance to be featured on our Instagram page as a POG. But really, that's the biggest tournament of the fall here locally. And really just a chance to kind of see the youth of Long Island on the girl side.
Yeah, you get that opportunity. And it's funny, we start building our watch lists at these type of events. Like we're going to have 2nd, 3rd, and 4th graders that we're putting on a watch list that we're going to follow their growth as they get older. I mean, we're not putting it out into the public, but we're just building that list. And that's where you get to see these, in this particular case, girls, but you'll be seeing some more events where we'll have the boys in there, which is kind of cool. The next event that's on the calendar, which is probably our largest event that we're involved in, as far as that's that winter league that we do at Stony Brook. And this year we're going to have middle school teams. We're going to go down to the 31s and 30s and 29s, boys and girls. And this is something where you commentate. So you're spending, in some days, you're there 14 hours covering games.
Yeah, I would say definitely December and January. Like Stony Brook, that kind of becomes my primary home, I would say, with the amount of hours that we spend there for the Winter League. But yeah, we're continuing to grow that league. So bringing it down to middle school this year, like you said, the league is continuing to grow at the JV level and the varsity level as well. So it's for both boys and girls. Every single game is live streamed, so you get commentary throughout those games, and that's a chance for players as well. A lot of players, once they enter that recruitment phase, they'll use the film for their highlight tapes and whatnot. So it's an opportunity for that. But we have plenty of varsity teams, also again JV as well, coming from all over the island to form a great winter league for both boys and girls. And a lot of teams, they use it as an opportunity to kind of like tune up for the spring season as well. But with that league continuing to grow, that's probably the biggest opportunity in the winter to be seen by the LILJ is playing with your high school team in the high school winter league.
Yeah, one of the coolest things when we started this league, and this league was started during COVID, but one of the coolest things that I love about this league is the kids that are getting recruited are coming out of their fall season. So they've been getting looks by various colleges. And in our first and second year that we did this, I noticed kids started committing in the months of late December, early January, which is really a dead period for recruiting. But because college coaches had the opportunity to watch these boys and girls on our live stream, they got to confirm what they might have thought about that student athlete and then make them an offer in the months of December when normally there's really nothing going on after the IWLCA and IMLCA events. So that was kind of cool when we got to see that, because I did reach out to a few colleges and ask them, did you see them play in our league? And they like, yeah, we really liked this kid when we saw him play at a club event. And then we just watched a couple of their games with their high school, and it confirmed what we thought. And then we made the young man or the young woman an offer, and then they got opportunity. So that was really cool that they got opportunity when normally there's really nothing going on during, December and January when it comes to recruiting. Right. Very cool. And then we run that, the next event we run, which is the LILJ Evaluations. This is brand new. Explain to everybody why we're doing this.
Yeah, so the LILJ Evaluations, the reason really for doing this is because it's another opportunity to be seen for the All Long Island games. So we do get a lot of questions as well as to like, how can I get my child involved in the All Long Island games? And as we go through this process here of going through the different ways that you can be seen by the LILJ, this is another opportunity to be seen specifically as it relates to the All Long Island games, which now coming up in the summer of 2025. This is going to be year 4 of the All Long Island games. So kind of crazy that we're going into year 4 already. And the All Long Island games are for 6th grade all the way up to seniors in high school that are about to enter their freshman year of college. But this is another opportunity really for the younger level to be seen by the LILJ as it pertains to the All Long Island games.
It's funny you talk about that, but the other thing is it's a training opportunity, and a lot of people are like, well, my club team's not playing in your winter league. My club team didn't play in this event. My high school team, we don't have enough kids for the winter league. So this is an opportunity for an individual that might be from a community or not play club, but still loves lacrosse and is very talented at the game, to come down, be trained by the LALJ Supreme Lacrosse Academy, and then obviously East Fitness, which is a great speed and agility company. And then you are at all these sessions, or your staff members, depending on the day, and then you're evaluating these young men and young women and getting an opportunity. I mean, there's some kids that are from schools that are considered non-hop ed that are in our top 50 kids because they attend events, individual events like this, and another event that we're going to talk about, because it's funny how individual events are opportunities for the kids that aren't necessarily on a high school team that comes to our league or a club team that plays in one of our events. So this is a way for an individual, just sign up, show up and show what you got, and then obviously get better.
Yep.
So it's cool. And it's funny, the next event, which is also in December, is College Bound. This is something we started also during COVID, where we bring back all the college coaches that have Long Island roots. They're coming home for the holidays to see their families. And we have an unbelievable group of male and female coaches that come and coach up the kids. This has turned out to be one of the most premier showcases that we run that's Long Island specific. You do get a couple Westchester and Connecticut kids.
Yeah, that's happened before.
Yeah, but it's really cool because the top Long Island kids are always there. And it's also, they're getting on the radar. You know, I've talked to these college coaches and they're like, yeah, I saw so-and-so when she was in 6th grade, or I saw so-and-so when he was in, 8th grade. And I've been like keeping an eye on this kid. And then that kid ends up, getting recruited to whatever that school is. We've had Syracuse there, Hopkins there, Duke there, Carolina there. I mean, all the big boys. Obviously, it's at Stony Brook. We always have the Stony Brook men's and women's coach, St. John's boys, the Turry brothers, they're there. So it's always a great group of coaches that are coaching up the kids. And then the other thing that I think is really lost in the sauce is everybody's got to realize your kids have to improve it. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Yep, 100%.
So use the opportunity. When you got John Crawley, who's been the Lehigh offensive coordinator, the Hopkins offensive coordinator, now he's the head coach at High Point, coaching you up, utilize that opportunity when you get this unbelievable coach who's had an unbelievable career in the sport of lacrosse to help you and guide you. Use that as the opportunity to just get better.
Yeah, I think too, especially for the young guns, because you're maybe not getting as many opportunities to get coached by premier college coaches. So it's really just a chance to kind of learn and grow and continue to develop. And like you said, kind of get on their radar a little bit early, so to speak.
Yeah, and after the College Bound, so from 5 to 7:30 is College Bound. Then we do the premiere, same coaches, and then you got recruitable kids. So now you're getting an opportunity to get looks during a time right before the holidays, which is unbelievable because at the end of the day, you might be a kid who's interested in LIU Post or interested in Syracuse or interested in Clemson, and all of a sudden one of those coaches is there and they get an opportunity to coach you up, and they fall in love with you and you fall in love with them, and it becomes like a happy marriage in a week before Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like you said, it's one of those points where it's like there really isn't much going on otherwise, like from a coach's standpoint. So that's another chance for them to kind of see those recruitable players and kind of get looks at them and see if they would potentially be good fits for their school. So it's really beneficial for both sides. But again, just another chance to also kind of like learn from premier college coaches and just continue to develop and enhance your game. And again, not just be seen by the LILJ, but of course be seen by those college coaches.
Yeah, it's good opportunity, and it's funny. So after that's over, we run an event, which is a high school event, and it's TriState Schools. Last year, I think Darien won it. Did Darien win it? It's a girls event.
Yeah. Darien won it, the inaugural.
Yeah, Darien beat the St. Anthony Juniors, while the St. Anthony Seniors were up at another event. So this event's cool. We had New Canaan, Suffern. Who else did we have at that event?
New Canaan, Darien, Suffern. Then, of course, had a bunch of Long Island teams.
Cold Spring was there. Who else was there?
Cold Spring Harbor, Wantagh, West Hampton.
GC.
Garden City.
Yep, GC's coming back. I just was texting with one of the captain's parents' moms, and they've already told me they want back into this event. It's a really fun one-day event, and it's for varsity girls high school programs. It was really, really cool thing to do. We kind of do it during the high school lacrosse league, and we take a Sunday and use the same facility. And the cool thing about the league that we didn't even touch upon is we play with college rules. We play with shot clocks, which is cool. The kids get used to that. And supposedly the shot clock's coming into high school this year. We'll see. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, but you'd have to think that the teams that have been in the league that play with the shot clock through the winter league, that should definitely give them, even if it's just a minuscule advantage, it should give them some type of advantage going into the spring season, assuming that that shot clock is officially coming in 2025.
It's interesting. I look back on the years that we've run this league, and I don't know if it's a coincidence, but the league or the Battle of the Sound, the state championship teams, I could go last year. Sayville was in the league. They
Yeah.
won the states.
Yeah. Cold Spring
was in Battle of the Sound. They won
They
the states. Those are the only two Long Island teams that won the states.
Mm-hmm.
And then St. Anthony's won the national championship. They had a team in every grade.
Yes.
So I'm sure that it's not a coincidence that coaching up the kids more, and Bayport won the states the year before. They were in the league.
Right. And even teams that just made deep runs in general. I mean, like Ward Melville, they were in the LIC. They were part of the league.
Peak was coming this year.
I saw that.
Peak was coming. Comac's coming. So in the girls' side, boys' side, Syosset, who's made a good run every year. They're always in it. Ward Melville, Hills, who lost in the LIC, they're in it. Mm-hmm. So on the boys' side, which is cool, and obviously the Chaminade St. Anthony crews, were the two best parochials, who finished 1-2 right in our rankings. So they're always in it.
Yeah, it seems like in the league the last couple of years, it seems like Chaminade gets the best of St. A's in the league, and then in the spring season it seems to flip. So we'll see what happens this year.
Yeah. I've been talking to some of the coaches. It looks like Chaminade is licking their chops because it looks like Chaminade has the upper hand this year. So we'll see, because both those teams are so incredibly talented that they just got to figure out how to get 6 balls into 1 ball and get it in the cage.
Yeah.
Interesting. So the next up for this is the tryouts for the Excelsior games, which this year we're starting it even younger, 28s down to 32s. And again, an opportunity to represent your region. You see Nassau and Suffolk on there. It's funny, but we have our tryouts for the Long Islands, but this event, which the LALJ runs, represents 6 regions in the state of New York. If you look at the whole thing, if you have the Excelsior with all the regions, you got Hudson Valley, which is Westchester and Rockland. You got Central, which is the Binghamton, Ithaca, Syracuse area, Adirondack, which is your Albany up to Lake Placid, and then Western, which is your Josh Allen, Rochester, and Buffalo Bills.
Rochester, Buffalo area.
So last year we had a couple Western boys teams win it. We had a Suffolk team. The 2019 was loaded. Coach Spallina, Dan Spallina, and Coach Peters and Massari put together some team to represent Suffolk County, and they won the gold. And in the girls, ironically, Nassau and Suffolk was loaded last year. Just showed you the dominance of Long Island lacrosse. So for those guys in the upstate, they're going to have to bring it this year to take on Nassau and Suffolk. But that's a really cool event. This year, we're starting it with the 28s and going down to the 32s. And Gate, as you can see, is our sponsor. That's going to be in the middle of July. And that is one of the coolest events that we run.
Yeah, because it's just a chance like to rep your region, and of course like be proud of where you come from, play for medals, and just try to stake your claim as the best region in the state of New York, but get a chance to play against good competition from other areas as well.
Yeah, it's funny, but this is a great also, and this is something that we've used it for. Obviously, we're involved in the Juniors Open event, but we'll talk about that more towards the end. But we also run a Queen of the Island in the spring, which is a mirror image of club teams in May, which is great. We get the opportunity to confirm all these high-level kids in the 8th grade down to the 2nd grade. And then we do the War at the Shore, which is a highly competitive one-day event on Saturday right after Memorial Day. And we do this great showcase, which is called First Look, where we brought in the Michigan coach on girls, the Clemson coach, the Syracuse coach. We had Stony Brook and Towson, and we had so many good schools there. We run that on Saturday night after the LICs and Sunday morning. And then this year we're starting a brand new event, the LILJ Club Team Challenge, which is 26s. We're going to go down to 29s after the little typo in there I just noticed. But we're going to go down to the 29s this year, and that's a great recruiting event because all those coaches that were there for the first look event will be there to recruit these teams. So I know Yellow Jackets is involved in this, and a bunch of the other Long Island teams. FLG. We spoke to the Jesters yesterday. They're interested in this. Got some calls with some West Coast people to try to get them to come. It's only going to be 8. It's a small event. Only 8 clubs. So that's all it's going to be represented, and opportunity for you to get your first look for those kids that are getting recruited. Very similar to the showcase and same coaches, which is cool. So after that event, we move on to the All Long Island games, which those kids will be selected. We usually select those when in March.
Yeah, usually we start in February and it goes into March, and then that's when the invite process usually goes. And then, of course, the All Long Island games take place on June 19th. So everyone's off from school that day. Do the boys and girls All Long Island games at Breezy Park. And those are live streamed as well. So you get the commentary for both the boys and the girls games. They're going on simultaneously. And again, the All Long Island games, that's for the top 48 to 50 players on the island. Sometimes more, depending on the age group. But
yeah, the younger grade, I thought that worked out well. We did the younger grades last year.
Yeah,
I thought that was really cool. We had like 80 kids, 14 and 20, and that was really competitive.
Yeah, exactly. That's really what you're looking for. You're looking for the top players, even out the teams, and really you just get competitive games, and it's really just a way to celebrate all the top players on Long Island, and really it kind of wraps up the spring season for all the middle and high school athletes, and then it's really kind of the beginning of the summer, because of course we have so much stuff going on throughout the summer. So it's kind of like that nice wrap up for the spring and a lead into what we have throughout the summer.
Yeah, it was cool last year when we started the draft. We named the captains in the upper grades in the senior and junior class. That was a cool thing. We did that on StreamYard, and I thought that went really well. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to doing that again.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice, and the kids got into it, and it made it more competitive, and the older kids are getting ready for college, and they got a lot going on when they're preparing for college. But it's a good way to celebrate. We also give out the Pominock Award.
Yes.
Which we can talk a little bit about that. That award, when you talk about the years, I mean, Boston College women's won the national championship last year. Our Pominock Award winner, Emma Lapinto, from
2021.
Was she 21?
Believe she was a 21.
Because our 22 winner won a national championship, Maddie Taylor. So it's just funny, you know what I mean? Like who the winners were and how they did in college.
Yeah, then 2023 you had Kylie Colbert, who's on
also on Boston College.
Yep.
Interesting. And then 24 last year was Tess Calabrian girls. She'll be playing at Carolina.
Yep.
The boys was Tommy Snyder he'll be at Virginia. Can you remember all the winners? Can you go back? Because I coach Wincant. 23 boy. Who was the 23 boy winner?
So 23 boys, that was Cal Gerard from Manhasset at Duke. And then 22, of course, was Joey Spallina.
Who's at Syracuse.
Yep.
Okay. You remember them all? Do you keep going?
21. I wasn't around in 21, so I don't remember.
21 had to be McAdory. Was it McAdory?
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
I gotta think it was Andrew McAdory.
I wasn't involved in 21, not to the extent that I'm involved now.
Yeah, that's true. Now you're an executive. Then you were just dreaming about this job.
Yeah, I was just floating around. People didn't know who I was at the time.
Yeah, that's changed.
Float around, go to games and then just leave. People would be like,
now we need Secret Service for you. Oh God! Hopefully we get better Secret Service. This is something new we're starting this year. The LILJ Summer LAX Camp for the kids.
Oh yeah.
This will definitely help the sixth graders and down get on Ellis's radar, huh?
Yeah, brand new, upcoming in the summer of 2025. And yeah, like you said, just a chance for the young guns, another chance to be seen by the LILJ, and really just have a good time again, like compete, get better, develop and learn. And that'll be going on at Breezy Park. So that's starting in late June, going into the first week of July. But yeah, looking forward to seeing the young guns out there.
You know, it's interesting. People always ask how do they register for these things, and all of the links are on our LILJ website. All the links are on our link tree and the Instagram. All of this stuff that you're watching right now, we put on Instagram so that you could see all that. And we're going to talk about. We also use these things for our national events. You know what I mean? Like we could sit and talk about the Players Open and the Juniors Open, which is an event that we run, which is national based, which is kids from all over the country. Um, Juniors Open has, I mean, the best players literally in America, North America. We had great
Yep.
Canadians playing in that. And Players Open, which is the first weekend in November, the 1 day event for girls on the 2nd, and on Sunday the 3rd is for the boys. That's where we bring in the pros, and the pros coach up the kids. We have some college coaches there to educate the student athlete and the parent. Those are cool national events as well. So feel free to go onto our website and check that out, or go to our Instagram and our link tree, and then you can sign up for any one of these events that we just discussed in our recording. And if you have any questions, you can always email Ellis. You're eJoshua at lilaxjournal.com. I'm
Correct.
what am I? I'm M Winkoff, I think, at LILX.
Yeah.
Is that what I am?
Yeah, I'm Winkoff at lilaxjournal.com.
Yeah. Or you could just send it to lilacrossejournal at gmail.com if you want, or info at lilaxjournal, whatever is easiest, and we'll get back to you. We try to respond as fast as we can. I think we do a pretty good job as far as getting back to the public, right?
Yeah, and also a lot of people they'll DM as well through social media. So that's another avenue as well.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest reasons we're doing this podcast is people ask questions, and we want to. Like, I got a DM from a Valley Stream coach about a great 2028 girl. We want to know about all these kids. It's impossible to be everywhere, but if you tell us, we'll make sure we see these kids play. You know, obviously at the varsity level or at one of these. I mean, you don't have an excuse now. You know, everywhere. So if your team isn't there, you have an individual event. If your individual is not there, you got a team event. So feel free to pick anything that works into your schedule, and hopefully, you know, we'll get to meet you and get to see your amazing abilities, because that's very important, is that we get to see as many players as possible. And our goal has always been our goal is to promote all these great players. And in 2 weeks, the 26s will be popping up there, and we're excited to see where those boys and girls end up finding their college experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And really it's all about just giving as many players an opportunity to get the exposure as possible. And that's really what it's about, because these players on the island here, they deserve to be seen. And that's really what it's all about.
Yeah, we're blessed with an amazing amount of talent on Long Island, and we want everybody to get the opportunity to be seen. So feel free to reach out, and we'll be more than happy to promote all these kids. And we'll be seeing you on the fields and coming up with more creative ways to get your video. You know, we're going to be doing some cool POG things in the spring. Just broke a new idea. I was texting with my boys about the Trophy Hut, which is a great company we buy all our medals and trophies from. They're going to be sponsoring a Player of the Week, and then our Player of the Year, which Ellis gave out at the girls' dinners, which was cool.
That's right.
A little shout out to the Suffolk girl. Suffolk was Gilmore, right? Kayla Gilmore?
Yeah, shout out to Kayla Gilmore from Suffolk for William Floyd, and for Nassau, Neem Thaf of GC, the Players of the Year for both Nassau and Suffolk. First ever time that the LILJ presented an award for a Player of the Year for the high school spring season.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. And we got to see all of the great players in Suffolk County and got to see some of the young guns that made all county. So
Yep.
some freshmen that made all county. Isabella Fiorelli from
Mhm.
Whitman, only a freshman, made all county, which was kind of cool. Seeing such a young gun making all county and stuff like that. And the other thing that I think is important that people have to realize is there's so many opportunities out there. You just have to take advantage of them and get your child out there and allow them the opportunity. And I always tell people, you will find the right fit. Just let the process happen.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to force the issue. Like it'll happen organically.
100%. And we're here just to help it organically. And I think we're doing a good job, and we want to get better. So we love everybody's advice and opinions. So feel free to share them with us. And we appreciate anybody who listened to this podcast. And feel free to reach out if you have any questions.